All right. I think we are officially live, and we will test this and see if we, in fact, live. What I also want to do is see if my levels are okay. I've been playing around with my mic situation. I've got a boom mic over there now, and I've got this mic here. Just want to make sure that the audio is coming through and that I haven't messed anything up. But today we're going to be talking about something I think a lot of people either have thought about or might not even understand the power in it. And that is like surrounding yourself with like-minded people, but also more of like a mastermind in a sense. And the mastermind could be, 3 people. It could be 1,000 people. There's all different forms and all different types. But the biggest thing that I think that we want to take away here from any of this is how do you surround yourself with like-minded people that are going to inspire you, motivate you, and give you what you need. But the main thing is holding you accountable, because we can let ourselves off the hook a lot. And I think that goes with anything. If we commit to do something, working out, by the way, on Monday's Mindset, I talked about that session there. I talked about making a commitment to yourself, doing it publicly, doing it in a group. I did that with you guys. And I told you that I kind of was procrastinating about getting back into this working out on a regular basis for the next 60 days. And I'm proud to say that since doing that, I have not missed a day. And today I'm really kind of sore, actually, in a good way. I'm feeling sore in the shoulders and the chest area, a little bit in the back. The lats. So I'm feeling good. It's a good sore. But yeah, I've been in the gym 2 days, and I also have been doing my morning hill climb, which I usually do about 4,200 steps in the morning before 7 o'clock. And a lot of that is hill climbing. So anyway, just a little update. But also today I did have a little bit of an announcement, and I put that in the title here. And what that announcement is, depending on if you are listening to this and you are currently not in Brand Creators Academy. I see a few of you are here. Gio is here. Ruth's here. Ive is here. You guys are part of BCA. But this morning, we sent out some private invites. Now, we don't normally do this. We do private invites, but very, very just whenever we feel is the right time to kind of do these private invites. And it usually has been about, every couple of weeks, and it'll be a handful of people because we are collecting applications. But what we decided to do is, and this is about 3 times a year, we take anyone that has expressed interest in BCA through filling out an application or reaching out to us personally, consuming some of that information. And then what we're doing now is we're sending out private invites, and we're going to do this for the next 5 days. So if you are not in BCA, Brand Creators Academy, and you wanted to be part of that, you can go to brandcreatorsacademy.com, and I'll go ahead and put that up here for you. You have to fill out a short little survey, and then from there, you'll get an invite either today or tomorrow. If you're already on that list, we sent out a private invite to a bunch of people this morning. So if you already filled out the application, look for that email. It should have been delivered to your inbox at 9 o'clock this morning. So make sure that you do that, all right? So that's the big announcement. Something that I haven't really talked a lot about as far as this open, because it's kind of like a private open, but I wanted to let you know. I know you guys are Coffee Talk listeners, or if you're watching this on the replay, and some of you have asked, Scott, when can I and how can I join Brand Creators Academy? All you need to do is go to, again, brandcreatorsacademy.com. If you haven't done so already, fill out that short little survey, take you like 3 minutes or less. And then from there, we'll be sending out private invites between now and Sunday. All right. So if you are interested, make sure that you do that. We'd love to have you. All right. So with that all being said, let's see what we got here. We got Noel. What's up, Noel? Good to see you. Good morning. Karen, what's up? Good morning to you as well. And another one of our BCA members. I love it too. Like, we're talking BCA here, and then we've got a handful of our members here, which is awesome. Which, by the way, I just got off of a call yesterday, and I actually got off a call with Matt, one of our BCA members, and I recorded a hot seat. He recently just finished up a campaign that he's running for a lead magnet, but he's now got a new digital product that he's kind of bolted on the back, and it's been working. So we broke it down. We unpacked it. I asked some questions. We actually have a couple of tweaks that we're doing on his landing page. And that is something else that happens inside of BCA is these hot seats. So if you're here and you're in BCA, that's coming probably, I would say, I don't know, in a few days. Maybe at the latest, it'll be next week. We also have our scheduled call this Thursday. Anyway, so what's up, Troy? Another one of our BCA members. What's up? And Gio, nice. Thank you, Gio. BCA community is the best. Chris and Scott really help us out, are out a lot, worth every penny. Thank you for that, Gio. Appreciate that. All right, cool. So let's dig in. All right, let's get to the topic at hand here. I'm going to start this off as if we were going to do a podcast, just in case I decide to turn it into one. All right, here we go. Coffee talk, coffee. Here we go. All right. Today, what we're going to be talking about is how to find and join virtual masterminds to grow your brand. Now, if you have never been part of a mastermind, and really what is a mastermind, I guess is probably what we should talk about. Years ago, and I forgot who came up with it. There is a gentleman that came up with this, where instead of you being the only one that can add to your business or come up with thoughts, right? What if you had like 4 or 5 or even 100 people that were really, really smart, or at least smarter than you in certain areas, and everybody kind of takes their minds, their brains, and collectively works on helping each other? That's basically what a mastermind is. Okay. It's basically what a mastermind is. Now, this could be 3 people. It could be, heck, it could be 2 people. It could be 5. It could be 500. All right. But the thing that you want to understand here is there's all different kinds of masterminds. There's also free masterminds. And I'm going to tell you a story here in a minute on one that I started years ago. Now it's probably over 6-7 years ago now, which is crazy to think it's that far back. And I started it, and I think we had about 10 people in it, and I'll share that story. And it's actually how I met Chris Schaefer and how him and I became now partners in this BCA thing. So I'll share with you guys that and how that all happens, or how it happened. But I'm going to give you a few things to consider when you are thinking about joining a virtual mastermind, or how to find one that is right for you, because not all masterminds are right for you. All right. And what I mean by that is, and I've had people say this to me, like I've run high level, like expensive masterminds. Okay. I've had people that come in for a 2-day mastermind, pay $4,500, or I've had people that signed up for a year when I was doing my inner circle for $25,000 a year. Okay. So there is a place for that. And I don't currently do those anymore. But I probably will do the retreats when this whole COVID thing kind of gets lifted and the pandemic kind of settles down. But there's all different kinds. There's ones also that you might not want to be a part of, because all they're doing is talking about selling, and all they want to do is, squeeze as much money out of their list as possible, right? So you have to find the right people. That's the other thing, right? That's the other thing. So what I'm going to do here today is share with you how to find and join virtual masterminds to grow your brand. All right. But again, I want to go over the things that you need to think about. What does the mastermind offer you, and what do you contribute to the mastermind? Because it's not a one-way conversation. It should be a 2-way or a 3-way or a 500-way, right? It should be everyone collectively getting support, getting feedback, getting help, getting accountability, all of that stuff. All right. So the very first thing, and the number one reason why a lot of people want to be part of a group or a mastermind is accountability. Like probably up there with number 1, maybe number 2. Obviously they want to learn, but it's the accountability. How do I get held accountable? Like, who can hold me accountable? Because if you're working for yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, there's a good chance that you can say, hey, I don't want to do this today. I just want to go mess around. right? Or I want to go play golf, or I want to go do whatever, right? It's easy to do that because no one's there to hold you accountable. But if you have an accountability partner or an accountability group, a mastermind, you will have them to hold you accountable. Okay. Now, every single Monday, I've been doing this now for probably over 6 months. Every Monday inside of Brand Creators Academy, I put up a post and it's what is your big 3 for the week? So now what I'm doing is I'm starting that conversation with our group, which basically, in a nutshell, Brand Creators Academy, which I didn't think of this when we started it. I've been told it's like a high-level mastermind. Like the people in there from all walks of life, but good people, and they're helping each other build their brands, right? So I never thought of Brand Creators Academy as being a mastermind, but in a sense it is, all right? And so the accountability piece there is I'm basically saying, hey, it's the start of the week. It's Monday. What are the 3 things you're going to accomplish this week? And then what happens is the members come in and they will write inside that comments. And some people write just 3 lines and some people write a paragraph of what they're going to do. And what this does is it, number 1, acknowledges in their brain that they're going to do it. Number 2, they said they're going to do it, so they feel a little bit more like I should do this, and I don't want to look like I didn't do what I said I was going to do. And then here's the other part that we do. On Fridays, we talk about what was your biggest win for the week. Well, a lot of times it's I got my 3 things done, or I got, maybe I received a new sale off my website after I put up, a new banner or whatever. Okay. Or I got, 10 more subscribers. But those wins are also a way for us to celebrate together, high five in a sense, virtually. But it also comes back to connecting and showing progress, right? So we have to have these systems in place, these things in place. And that's why we do that in the academy is we need that accountability. And that's what our members have said. Every single member that comes through, they fill out a little survey. Actually, it's myself asking these questions. And a lot of times they'll say, I'm joining, or I want to join because I want accountability, I want support, and I want step-by-step. Usually step-by-step, like training is like last. It's usually accountability, and I want to surround myself with like-minded people. That's usually what the first 2 things are. So accountability is huge. Now, however you get it, you have to get it. And I'm going to give you some examples here on how you can get it yourself, even if you aren't part of our academy. All right. So number 1 is accountability. You have to figure out who is going to hold you accountable. Who is going to say, hey, did you get those 3 things done? And so that's huge. The second thing is you need some type of standing meeting. Okay. In your group or with your, partner, you need a standing meeting. Chris Schaefer and I, every Tuesday and Thursday, we have a standing meeting at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. And we go over things. Okay. We have an agenda, but that's what we do. So if I said to Chris, I'm supposed to write an email follow-up sequence for one of our new ad campaigns that we're doing, I need to have that thing done. And if not, he's going to ask me on Thursday, where's the thing? And then I'm going to be like, oh, well, yeah, I didn't get that done. That holds him up. That holds everything up that we're trying to do. Accountability, right? So that's just a 2-way, like it's not a mastermind, but it's a way for us to have a standing meeting. Now, it doesn't have to be every week. It could be every other week. Actually, inside of the academy, every other week, we do a standing meeting, and it's a virtual meeting where we'll get in a room together, virtual room, and we'll either share some updates of what we're doing, but then we're going to answer any questions or ask questions to the members of what they're working on and what they need help with. And this way here, we get this back and forth. Right? We get people sharing, but it's also a way for you to go, oh, I'm going to check in here with my group, with my support network, with the people that are like me, that are going towards the same goals, right? So it's really important that you have a standing meeting and that you can meet at least, once every other week is my recommendation. And sometimes it's once a month. I like every other week. Or at least once a week. Okay. The third thing is they got to be like-minded. Like if you're going to join something and people are like, oh, I'm building a business for, I don't know, let's just say it's membership stuff. That group is really only going to talk about membership stuff. Yeah, they're going to talk about the other stuff, but that's what they're talking about. And that group also might be like, I want to build a SaaS company. and basically it's that's just like a paid software tool. Okay. So that would be a SaaS. Maybe that's a mastermind that just talks about that stuff. Okay. And that's why for us, the Academy, it's all about brand building and the 5 stages that are in the roadmap and all of that stuff. So everyone's on the same page. Everyone's kind of doing similar things. All right. But you need to find the like-minded people. The one thing we don't have in the Academy is people that are just like, I just want to go out there and I want to make as much money as humanly possible because I want to have boats and I want to have Lambos and I want to have, all of the flashy stuff. That's not our people, right? We have actually one member right now, Ty Linda, who last year shared that she bought her in her eyes, her Lamborghini, which was an RV. And she paid cash for it from the money that she has made from building out her website. This year, just now, she actually just posted this the other day. She had a second goal that she wanted to do. And her next thing that she did, she wanted a cabin in the woods. She bought a cabin in the woods, a piece of land with an old cabin. And then she's now going to refurbish it. Bought it from the money from her website that's generated, right? So that was a goal for her. Those are the type of people that we're surrounding ourselves with, not the Lambos, not the beach houses and all of the, fancy stuff, right? It's about lifestyle. Okay. A lot of it is. So like-minded people. The fourth thing is the people need to be committed as well. If you surround yourself with people that kind of blow things off, you're going to probably blow things off too, right? So that makes sense. We need committed people. And then the fifth thing is people that are where you are and also people that are further down the road than you are. Okay. So we don't want to jump into a group that everyone's advanced. We want to go there where there's a mix of people. There's someone that's just starting right along with you, but then there's also people that might be like 10 steps ahead of you. And there might be some people that are 3 steps ahead of you, maybe people that are 100 steps ahead of you, but everyone is still working on their brand. Okay. And on those steps. Okay. So that's really important because if you join something and you're just the newbie, and there's no other newbies in there, you feel kind of like you don't belong, right? So we never want that. So that's something else to look for. So let's talk about where do you find a mastermind? Well, the first place that I would go is if you're into building brands is Brand Creators Academy. Little shameless plug there. If you're listening to this right now, you can go apply at brandcreatorsacademy.com and you can fill out a short little survey there. And then that will allow us to see, if we're the right fit for each other. All right. So that's the first thing, right? Little shameless plug. But the other way to do it is, and if you didn't want to, spend any money on a mastermind or any type of group that would help you, then I would say, what groups are you part of right now? Like, even if you're part of our free Rock Your Brand group, there's probably people in there that if you reached out to them, if you were looking at those people and going like, oh, they're kind of similar to me, they're working on similar things to me. Maybe you just reach out to them and go, hey, do you want to be an accountability partner? Do you want to, or maybe there's 3 other people that are similar too, and you guys are kind of always conversing back and forth. Maybe you reach out with them and you say, hey, I'd like to put together a small little mastermind. Would you be interested in meeting once a week? And we can hold each other accountable. It's that simple. But again, you're kind of handpicking who is in that group and you're kind of orchestrating it. And that's exactly what I did. I'll go back to the story that I was going to share here in the beginning that I talked about. Chris Schaefer and I, when we first met, it was through a Facebook group. And that was when I was just getting started. I say just getting started. I was about probably 4 or 5 months into the Amazon journey back then, before the podcast was even a thing. And I was in an Amazon group, and it was probably one of the only Facebook groups at the time, one of them, and only had about 4,000 people in it maybe. And I asked a question about an LLC. I said, hey, what are you guys doing for an LLC for your private label brand? And Chris Schaefer jumped in and said, well, this is what I would do. This is what I've done. Obviously, I'm not a legal advisor. I had to throw that disclaimer in there, but that's what I did. And then I asked him a question back, and then he asked me a question. And then maybe another week went by, and maybe someone else asked a question, and then I came in and answered, and then Chris came in and answered. So then I started seeing like there was people in there that we were kind of having our own conversation in this group anyway. So then I reached out to Chris Schaefer and I said, hey, it seems like we're kind of similar as far as where we're at in this journey, and we think alike. Would you want to jump in and maybe meet once a week and we can kind of mastermind about this Amazon thing? And he's like, yeah, love to. And then I said, I'm thinking about asking a few other people. Is there anyone else that you would want to invite that's in the group? And then he had 1 or 2 people. And I said, I have a couple people. So I invited a couple people. So before you know it, we had 6, maybe 8, I think at one point, but like 6 to 8 people. And we met for probably 3-4 months consistently. And it was great. And then from that point, some people kind of branched off, or some people weren't showing up, or maybe we didn't want to go in that direction. So we kind of parted. We didn't have any bad blood or anything, but we just kind of parted. But Chris and I kept the conversation going. And that's when I actually asked him, I said, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, and I'm thinking about, doing this whole, talking about it on a podcast stuff. What do you think? And he was like, I think it's a great idea. And then after about 6 months, well, was it about 6 months? Probably about 6 months, maybe 4 months of doing the podcast, I started to see that people were asking me for help for Amazon stuff. And so that's when I said to him, I'm thinking about maybe doing a course. Would you be interested in helping me and handle some of the tech stuff? And he's like, yeah. And we had no idea what was going to happen. And we held our first webinar. You guys probably know the story, but I'll tell it again. We had our first webinar, had about, I think, 500 or 600 people on live. And we opened up a beta program like we teach in the Digital Product Creation Fast Track Workshop, very similar to it. And we basically just showed the outline of what we were going to teach over, I think it was 4 weeks. And it was going to be $497. And we were only going to take 25 people. And the thing sold out in less than a minute and a half. Okay. So that's how Chris and I met, but it's also how the mastermind kind of created that. See, so inside of a mastermind, you can develop partnerships. Actually, at actually Brand Accelerator Live 2019, I'm not going to say who it was, but I'm pretty sure there's a marriage going to happen because of that, which is pretty cool. At least right now they're dating, and it seems pretty good, but there could be a wedding in the future. But it's all because we brought people together that are like-minded. We have partnerships that have happened. We have businesses that have been bought and sold. We've had, again, deals made. We've had all of that stuff happens because you get the right people together in the right room. And also you feel as though you can share openly. And that's also another important piece whenever you're creating a mastermind of your own. You want to be able to openly share. So this way here, there's nothing being held back. There's a trust level there and all of that stuff. So my recommendation for you, if you're interested in joining a mastermind, is number 1, check out Brand Creators Academy. If you're into building brands, if you're right now watching this, there's a pretty good chance you are if you're listening to this. But if you're not ready for Brand Creators Academy, then find your own, right? Just find who you are resonating with and that you would like to hang out with and have as an accountability partner. Start with maybe 1 or 2 right now and see who could be that accountability partner for you. Okay. And then you might have to be the organizer though. Okay. That's the only downside of it, is you maybe have to be the orchestrator. See, inside the academy, we kind of orchestrate it. Now, there are some mini little masterminds that are happening inside. We have some people that say, hey, we're going to be jumping on a Zoom call next week talking about Amazon stuff or Etsy stuff. And then you'll get like 8-10 people that will say, yeah, I'd love to. And then they'll join a little private Zoom, but it's still part of the academy, right? We're just not orchestrating that. What we are orchestrating is we have, bi-weekly office hours calls. We have one this week. We have, like I said, we have the community that's constantly, helping each other and sharing inside. And then also we have our Monday check-ins and then our Friday wins. So that stuff is kind of like you're kind of plugging into a mastermind that's already created and already has a flow and already has the like-minded people already kind of curated into one place. But again, it doesn't mean you have to. Now there's masterminds out there that are, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, $35,000. I actually belong to one that was $35,000 a year. And then I belonged to another one that was $25,000 a year. And I did both of those in 1 year. I did 2 of those in 1 year. And then I just decided to take a break from those type of masterminds. I didn't really feel like at the time I didn't need any more of that. So that's where now I have more of my Brand Creators Academy. That's kind of like my personal mastermind in a sense. which is really awesome. So hopefully this has helped you. All right. Where, yes, if you can have people that can hold you accountable, inspire you, motivate you, make you feel as though you can ask any question without being judged, and being able to also ask them how things worked for them, and maybe bouncing ideas off of them before you actually do it, or getting their opinion on your landing page, or getting their opinion on your lead magnet, or whatever. It's just really, really helpful. And I would encourage you to find a mastermind or a group that will do that for you, because I think there's a huge amount of growth potential in doing that. So I would definitely recommend doing that. So hopefully this has helped you, but definitely consider what I just said. Having the accountability piece, having a standing meeting every single week or every other week, finding the like-minded people, making a commitment to them, and having them commit to the group is huge. And then again, find the people that are where you are, but also people that are further ahead. And that right there will allow you to build and grow your brand, have fun in the process, and really meet some cool people that you never know where that relationship's going to go. So I would definitely consider finding a mastermind or a group to help you grow your brand. Cut. All right. So that's going to be the official part of the coffee talk. Let's go ahead and see if we got any questions. You got any questions, guys, before we wrap this up? Let's see. Yes, totally a mastermind. Accountability is key. It is. Let's see. This is great for a podcast. I'm in a great mastermind finally. Yes. Sounds like a profitable bromance. Me and Chris. Yes, it is. Maybe there's hope still. Would love coffee talk on your thoughts and insights on Etsy so far. Yeah, we'll probably do an update on that. We are definitely working on that as we speak. It's kind of like a little side project. Geo says sip time. No problem. Let's see. How important are live masterminds versus virtual? There's a place for both of them. I think in person, what's nice about that is you are able to kind of shut everything else out, and you're kind of really, really committed to being there, and you're focused. I will say we try our best to make our virtual ones inside the academy to be like that. Like, it's like, listen, you signed up for the academy to have accountability, to have support, and to be able to surround yourself with like-minded people. You owe it to yourself and the members to show up on these virtual calls. And when we do, we're able to be face-to-face in a virtual room. But being in person, there is something really valuable there, because you really are not distracted with anything else. You're really there focused. So yeah, there is a good place for that. And we may do something in the future for BCA where we do some type, it'll be, obviously we'll have to charge something for that, because I'll probably do it at the lake house, kind of like I've done in the past for my lake house retreats. But we got to wait till this whole pandemic thing clears up. Scott, are your coffee talks scripted? Because this was a good one. No, they're not. There's some bullet points that I have in place, and then I can just kind of riff on it. But no, they are not scripted. I would not do well if I had to stick to a script. I would do terrible. What's up, Karen? Glad you can join us. We're going to be wrapping this up, but thanks for stopping by. How do you meet expectations of members who learn by reading versus listening audio inside your mastermind? Well, in a mastermind, it's going to be a little bit of both. And again, if people are visual learners, and then they need to be part of a visual learning group, right? So again, you can't make the mastermind fit for everyone. It can't be a perfect fit for everyone. And that's the key, right? So I know that there's people that are watching my stuff that are like, Scott, I want the flashy stuff. I want the Rolex. I want the, the yachts. I want all of that stuff. It's okay. Like, that's not what this is, right? We're lifestyle. Like, we're about like being able to go to my daughter's volleyball this afternoon at 4:30 because I made a commitment to my daughter and myself that I'm going to that stuff. So that's what's important to me. So you can't satisfy everyone. And in a mastermind, really, mastermind that I'm talking about or a group discussion is more than going to be audio and visual as far as being on camera. It's not going to be a lot of like, oh, here's a keynote on how to do this. It's more of the interaction from the group. Let's see. Chantel, question, 15,000 monthly page views. Which ad network would you suggest? Right now, your only option is really going to be Ezoic. You can do, AdSense, but I would probably just do Ezoic. I'd give them a try. We're back up and running on both of our sites. One of them is doing better than the other. We're still trying to get the premium network to work, but I would play with Ezoic and just test it and see what happens. Geo. Man, some people would think that I paid Geo to say this, and I didn't. Those on the fence about joining BCA, get Scott's Take Action Effect book in Audible. It's awesome. Yeah, and I got a copy of it right here. And if you get the Audible version, you will hear me read the book, but then I do a lot of off-script stuff. Like again, that book took me 2.5 days to record, and it was about 7 hours a day. So 14 hours. And to be honest with you, it was kind of painful for me because I was reading everything that I had written, and not an easy task. But it's done. But the cool thing that I was able to do is then kind of jump off script and then just kind of riff on something and tell a short story about maybe that situation that I didn't include in the book. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that, Gio. Oh, what is the topic for the jam session this Friday? Oh, glad you asked. And you reminded me. Let me go ahead and pull that up. I do have it, and I will give that to you right now real quick, and then we're going to jump. Let's see. Coffee Talk. This Friday is going to be how long before I start selling to my email list? That sounds like a pretty good one. How long before I start selling to my email list? That's going to be this Friday's jam session. Salma, we already chose the winner on that. So I believe Jason Quint had won that, and we already shipped out the prizes. And should have received something on that, but if not, I apologize. But we already picked the winner. Probably picked the winner, I don't know, 3 weeks ago now. In general, where's the best place for me to hover within BCA to see the latest news/chat? Yeah, inside of the Academy, inside the Facebook group is what you're talking about. The best thing to do there is the announcements. So the announcements are things that if we have something that we want to make sure that everyone sees, we put it in the announcements. If you go into the group itself, you can actually toggle most recent activity. But that's the best way to usually do it. And I believe there's a setting there that you can, inside of Facebook, it's something that you'd have to do in Facebook that will allow you to get notified. But to be honest, it's hard within Facebook, but really if you just check in once a day, you'll usually see the most recent post or the most recent activity. Let's see. Looking forward to it. Have a great day. Oh yeah, no problem. When are you doing a talk on why do not buy the website? I think that's next week. I'm going to do that one. Geo, how do you price a content website if you're going to sell it? What factories play a big role? How much money it's generating is really what it is. If that site is generating $500 a month, an easy rule of thumb there is if you took that, so for the year, that would be $5,000, $6,000. I would times that by 3, be about an $18,000 sale, $15,000 to $18,000, and that's at about a 3x multiple. Now, if you have other things in place, good size email list that's responsive, other ways that you can see that there's opportunity to monetize and grow it, you can probably bump that up to 3.5 to 4. But that's usually a good rule of thumb, is to take the net income. And I like the net income to be consistent for the 12 months at the lowest point. Sometimes these sites are saying in the last 6 months. I don't like that because I want a full year. So yeah, but that's kind of how you do it, Gio. All right. And then lastly, let me just give you a quick little reminder. We did talk about joining a mastermind. Well, I've been told that Brand Creators Academy, our group is like a mastermind, and we meet twice a month. We do hot seats with our members. We have one that's going to be airing here very soon with Matt, where we broke down his recent email his email campaign that has been doing really well. And he's also selling a digital product on the back end. And we unpack that. That's going to be released there as well. And then any of our trainings, we're going to be doing, and I haven't really announced this, we're going to be doing an email writing, somewhat of a workshop inside of the academy here very soon, where we're going to break down our emails and writing and formatting and all of that stuff. So that's going to be coming as well as more of like a workshop. But yeah, if you're interested in joining us, brandcreatorsacademy.com, you'd have to go there, fill out a short survey. And then from there, you'll get a private invite between now and the end of the week, or Sunday. I believe Sunday at 11:59 Eastern time, PM Eastern time, is when we're going to be closing for the enrollment period. So if you're interested, make sure that you do that. We'd love to have you. And we will be back here on Friday, and we'll be doing a jam session on how and when to start selling to your email list, I guess is what we're going to be talking about. So yeah. And Karen, or not Karen, Scooby Life, the 3 dots to the right in Facebook marked for all notifications. Awesome. Karen, you have a great day as well. All right, guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. Oh, and BCA members, if you are on with me right now, we did change the time this week. It's not going to be 5 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern. So you should have gotten a notification on that. If not, I just told you again, and I'll probably do another update here in the group here shortly. So 3 p.m. Eastern this Thursday, we're going to be meeting together via Zoom, and we'll be doing our office hours call. All right. So that's it, guys. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys on Friday, or hey, who knows? Maybe I'll see you inside of BCA if you're not already in there. All right. Take care. Take action. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.